Hi everyone, it's Karen here. Welcome, it's day 8 in our 12 days of tags for 2024. And here we've got something really soft. We're using stencils, stamps, die cuts, a bit of bling, a bit of ribbon, our lovely distress oxides. So this is super fun. If you don't have exactly what I've got, you can improvise as you have been for the past 7 days. I've loved seeing it. So what I'm using is I've got a die here for this flower. This is from Memory Box and it's called Tilth Floral. That's that one. And instead of punching those through, I've just kept them in and glued it so that they're going to stay in. I really rather like that. So let's just play with our supplies and have fun. So that's the focal point. My little snowflake, which I had in my stash. So use some things that you've got. Oh my goodness, these tiny little tags here come from this Cheery Lynn design set. Look at those tiny, tiny little dies in this set. I love it. Stencils. I'm using this brick backplate from Sweet Poppy Stencils for the background there. To decorate my tiny little miniature tags, I've got a number of little stencils here. And then I've put some stamping on the background of the stenciling. And this one is from Paper Artsy. And I love it. It's just, I can't even decipher what it says. But I love the scrawl of it and the angle. So, the colours we're going to be using. Kitsched Flamingo and Weathered Wood. I'm going to be using a couple of stencil brushes. And let's get started. As always, our tag size is 6.5 centimetres by 12.5 centimetres. And here it is. I'm going to lay it flat on my mat. And if you didn't know, this silicone mat is from Sweet Poppy Stencils. I love it. As you can see, I've thrown paint, inks, stamps, all sorts of things at it, and I just wash it with water and it comes up beautifully every time. So I'm just going to lay my stencil there, hoping to keep it square. Take the lids off my Kitsched Flamingo and Weathered Wood. And I'm going to go in first with my Kitsched Flamingo, which is a gorgeous little pinky colour. As you know, I always like to dab a bit off. Some people dab it on their mat, and that's perfectly fine too. I think it's just habit that I use a piece of paper. Now, as we did yesterday, really softly across the tag, because you want this, look, it's a hint of a background. And this Kitsched Flamingo is quite a bold colour. There we go. I know you can't see it, but I can't lift it up because otherwise I won't put it back in the same place. I'm now going in for my Weathered Wood. And I'm just going to pick off different parts. Because if it was a brick wall, that's what you would have. You would have the bricks looking a bit variegated. There we go. Look. So you can see that variation there in the bricks here and there. Okay, I'm going to, while I've got my inks and stencils out, I'm going to decorate my little tags. As I said, I just cut 3 from this tags 1 set, B260. And we're just going to play. We're going to decorate them by... I'm going to put little stars on this one, the second one. I found a spot where, oh, there we go, where we could get 3. No, it wasn't that spot, was it? Here was this spot. There you go. You've got 3 gorgeous little stars. Wrong one. So what I'm doing is I'm wiping it on my apron, really. If I had a cloth nearby, that's what I would do. There we go. So we're just going to darken them. There we go. And then I'm just going to put, there you go, a light background around that whole little tag. And for this larger one here, I'm going to use this stencil, which I think is rather fun. And of course, you'll have loads of stencils in your stash, so pick whichever ones bring you joy. We've got that decorated, and now we're just going to take the middle tag. What I'm going to do with that, I'm going to do something a bit different here. I'm going to put one of these in the center. And then just to give it a bit of difference, I'm just going to go over with the weathered wood. There you go. That's it. But look how much fun you can have with that. Okay, so those are our 3 decorated. Now, as I said, my little flower here, I've cut 2. I've die cut 2 of those. And I am going to colour them with my kitsch flamingo again. And to do that, I'm not going to decorate the whole. I'm just going to go through the centre and then just gently round the edge. Because, you know, when you've looked at flowers, they're not all the same depth of colour throughout. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp, which I'm going to use the big stamp from this here. I'm just going to make sure that I stamp it, because sometimes when the when the writing is a bit indecipherable, you can't tell which way up it goes. There's my kitsch flamingo, and you saw how roughly I did that. There we go. So it's that way up. And I'm not going to put this on a block, because I just want a hint of the type in different places. There we go. To make it look like, there you go, it's sort of in the background. Voila. And then we are going to, let's go around the edge. Now, with this one, I went around the edge with one of my smoothies. This is how I keep my smoothies, in a large egg box. If you have seen me before, you'll know that I used to use a little green one, but actually I've expanded. There's a surprise, isn't it? If you decide to do this, the one tip that I would have is make sure you get one with very large egg sizes, because some of these smoothies are quite large and they don't fit in the small ones. So what I did around the edge of this one is the brown. And so that's got a bit of brown, bit of gathered twig, vintage photo. But actually I decided I'm going to do a different look for you on the second tag. So then you can see which you prefer better. I'm going to use Dusty Concord. And I'm just going to go around the edge. You can use your stencil brushes as well, or you can use those lovely rounded blending sponges that we used so many times. I was thinking the other day about the number of implements that I started with, and oh my goodness, how that's grown. I'm quite liking that, and so I'm going to go around the edge. These nails. They're a good idea at the time, aren't they? There we go. I'm going to go around the edge of each of your tiny little tags. just to give it a bit of a border. There we go. Now before I put it all together, I'm just going to clean it up. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my first die cut flower down. And you can see with all the handling, I got a bit of a problem there and one of my dies popped out. So not to worry, I just taped the back of it with a bit of red tape. That'll hold it in place. Alternatively, if you wanted to have it take those bits out, well, this is your tag. So do however you want it to look. And then I'm just going to set this aside. I don't like that. There we go. I set it at an angle so you can see that it looks like it's got lots of layers. I'm only going to glue this in the center so you get the variation. And then I'm going to do one of my, oh, look at it. It's sort of pearly. I love it. Tiny blob in the center. There we go. So there's our little flower. Oh, didn't want to stick, did it? Just going to clean this up. Otherwise it's going to stick on anything else that I put there. Now, obviously you can use ribbon, twine, whatever you like for your centre. But what I had was a number of these, I don't actually know what they're called. They're like little safety pins with a bulby bit at the bottom. I just had a pile of those, as you do. And that's what I'm going to join my tags with. So I'm just going to put my lovely soft ribbon through the top. And then I'm going to use one of those little safety pin things to join my tags together. My tiny little tags. There. Oh, I love it. And I'm just going to hook it through the main hole in the tag as well. Join it up. I like it. And then I just used a bit of cotton twine. I think this is just plain cotton thread. And I'm just going to loop it through the hole here. And of course you can play about this to your heart's content. How do you want it to look? And then I'm just going to make a little bow on top of it. So something different, not your traditional reds and greens. And of course this tag would lend itself to anything throughout the year. So what do you do with your tags when you have finished them? Well, I keep mine in a Ferrero Rocher box, which of course means that I have to eat the Ferrero Rocher chocolates first, which is always a bonus, isn't it? Some people put them in a tag book. Some people write on the back as to how they made them so that they can remind themselves next time. I would love to see your ideas, and I'd love to see your tags based on this theme. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.